Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to United View. Welcome to another Flex's View. And the Bruno situation continues to rumble on. I had to give you guys a short, sharp, quick little update on just what I think about the situation. A little bit of my thoughts on some of the things people are putting out there as well, because I think some people are just reaching and just piling in the negativity, which is no surprise really. But that's what happens when we've had such a bad season. People just feed off it and keep putting things out there. And Bruno with this cryptic message, this cryptic Instagram post, and it's not really Bruno's style. It's not really Bruno's style, if I'm honest with you. Let's be real. Bruno doesn't normally do statements and social media games and cryptic posts, but I think that this could be one. Bruno Fernandes this afternoon on his Instagram account has said the following. He has said, if you tried and failed, congratulations. There are people who don't even try. Let me repeat that. If you tried and failed, congratulations. There are people who don't even try. Now, listen, this is open to interpretation. I don't believe there is a right or wrong. This is ambiguous. This is subjective. Do you know what I mean? This is what you can make your own mind up. Let's break this down. Now, if you tried and failed, congratulations could mean a number of things. Let's break this down. It could mean he's saying, I tried at Man United to make them great again. I tried at Man United to stick it out and return the club back to its glories. I've given them my best years. I tried and it failed. But that's a congratulations. Some people didn't even try. Some people didn't even stay around long enough to be able to return the club back to its glory. But I did. I tried and I failed, but I deserve congratulations. That's theory one. I'm only throwing theories out there. You guys decide for yourselves. To me, I'm somewhere in the middle. I think it's just some more games and just probably giving people something to think about, if I'm honest. But again, I'm not really sure either way. It's just one of those that are open to interpretation, which is why we're discussing it, right? Theory number two could be Saudi tried to sign me, or they're trying to sign me, but they failed because I'm not going anywhere. I'm not effing leaving. Okay? As Leonardo DiCaprio famously said in Wolf of Wall Street, I ain't effing leaving, yeah? So they deserve congratulations for trying to sign me. There's people who haven't even tried. But I don't know, that one seems more of a reach. But it could be that. It could be that. So those are the two main theories, right? And let me know if I'm missing one of the other potential theories. They tried and I'm trying to think of another theory it could be. If you tried and failed, congratulations. There are people who don't even try. I don't think it's going to be to a player. Like if we're being, really sort of controversial or trying to think, when you just, at this point, I'll be honest, at theory 3, I'm trying to look for something, but it's not like it's going to be to Garnacho because he's been acting up recently, or Rashford's on his way back in and he tried and failed to get a move, but congratulations anyway. Because I don't know. I don't think it could be to a player. I don't think it's obviously going to be to Ruben Amorim. He's publicly backed him many times. So I think it's got to be about him. And also, like, we don't see this from Bruno. That's one thing that does kind of make us, because us even coming to the forefront to even talk about what could he mean there? That's a bit weird. That's a bit cryptic. Bruno doesn't do that. And maybe it's just a quote that he likes. Maybe he has it tattooed under his arm or something. I don't know. Maybe he's got it. Maybe he's got a small scripture of this saying because he really likes this saying and he lives by this saying. I don't know. We don't know. But what it is it's cryptic. And also what I will go on to say is that regardless of what you think about this cryptic message and all of that stuff, right? This is a real situation. Even with Ruben Amorim last night or yesterday afternoon, whenever that presser was, saying, Bruno, I think Bruno will stay. He's indicated to me that, he wants to stay. I think he said he's saying no to a lot of things. So obviously there's negotiations. Obviously there's situations going on, conversations being had. But as far as Ruben Amorim's concerned, Bruno's saying no to everything. But he also says, I don't know. Like that's, you know, one of the things he did say. Let me try and grab that actually of what Ruben actually did say, because it is important how we said it, if I'm honest. But I remember seeing, that was Chido after the game. I remember seeing sort of Amarim saying that you know, he expects him to stay. You don't know in football, but he's saying no to a lot of things. A good feeling. Ruben asked the kids. Right, here you go. So he said, I think he wants to stay. He's saying no to a lot of things. The club can find other ways to make money, i.e., we don't have to sell our best player to make this money. Obviously, if a big bid comes, you guys have seen the update with Ben Jacobs. He's clarified, you know, because he's been doing interviews with us, with other people. He's clarified his comments. Didn't have to clarify his comments here because we pretty much got what he said right. We didn't really, you know, frame it in a different way. There's the context is the context. But he clarified what he does and what he doesn't mean. He says the club can find, Ruben Amorim, by the way, says the club can find other ways to make money. The feeling I get is that he wants to continue for sure with Man United, and then adds, you never know. But you can clearly say his feeling is, and up until now, the conversations he's having with Bruno surround him very much staying at the club. That's what it feels like. But we can't be naive, though. We definitely can't be naive. So I think it's a positive that Ruben's saying that. But let's be real. This is an ever-changing situation. And with the interview we done with Ben Jacobs yesterday here, what we do know, if you haven't seen it, check it out. He's saying that he has 7 days. He's got a week from yesterday. He's got till Friday to basically say, does he want to accept that contract offer, which would then give Al Hilal the green light to then go and put a bid in for Man United. That bid's only going to arrive at Man United's desk should Bruno say yes. So this changes, you know, Ben Jacobs made a good point, because I said, listen, I was there in the mix zone where Bruno said, it's not about money. I want to stay here. I want to win trophies, this, that, and the third. But what Ben was saying was that actually that's a smart move from Bruno because he controls the narrative. You know, if, you know, a certain bid comes in or he says yes and that's accepted, he can say, I left because, you know, it's better for the club and the club needs money and it was the right time, etc., etc. If he stays, he gets to say, I want to stay here and win trophies, and I turn down 700 grand. We have to be aware of these things. And also, like we say, this is a bit different because Man United are relaxed and calm because as of now, there's nothing for them to consider because there's no bid. Bruno has the power. If Bruno accepts this offer, which is real, which is genuine, which is on the table, 700 grand a week, if he accepts that, then Man United will have a different problem to think about, because not only would it be that a player of Bruno's magnitude, the captain of the club, has said yes, i.e., I want to leave. So that changes Man United's perspective, changes Ruben Amorim's perspective. So he can say that in the press conference now, but it doesn't mean that in 7 days it will still be the same. Even he said, I don't know at the end of it. But as of him being asked, Bruno hasn't told him he's accepted any contract offer. And he's also saying that Bruno has said no to a lot of things. So listen, I think for me, it's kind of, although it can change, I understand where it's at now. And in my opinion, this is how I'll put it to you guys. Where it's at now, to summarize, is that Al Hilal want Bruno. Bruno understands they want him. He's engaging in conversations with them about the project, about the contract offer. He sent his agent in to talk about and hear them out. And they've then given him an offer from that, which opens the door, because if he didn't want to talk to them, if it wasn't a possibility, he just wouldn't even entertain. So what are you saying though? How much would you give? What would that contract look like? He'd just say, sorry, I want to stay at Man United. So that's why we can't be naive. And then subsequently from that meeting and from those discussions about the project and the contract, they're saying, right, you've got 7 days. And Ben Jacobs, again, in more detail, explains how they need to spend that money, the Club World Cup, etc. If they don't get him in that 7 days, they need to move on to other targets. So this will have a conclusion, I believe, by next Friday. So we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I've seen some people putting out that, you know, the dressing room's really low and the players are so amazed at how slow we're moving in the transfer market, which is just odd, really. I think that's just a little bit of spin and engagement farming, to be honest. It's pretty pathetic, because what's basically being said is, well, we've basically signed Matheus Cunha already before the window's open. We've tried to get Liam Delap, evidently presented a case to him, which didn't work, but we tried again before the window's open. And to very credible sources like Ben Jacobs and others, Man United are having conversations with Brian and Mbeumo. So it's either the players are really thick and silly, and that Man United, they're just lying that we haven't really tried to make moves or made moves even before the window's open quite aggressively. Or again, people are just putting stuff out there for spin and negativity and clicks and engagement farming, which is probably the latter, to be honest with you. Some people do that and it's quite pathetic, to be fair. But yeah, there you go, guys. Big up to you. Let's see what happens on this, man. It's not going away. Bruno cryptic message, bit out of character for him, doesn't normally do it. And at the same time, he could just be toying with us. He could just be saying, "Oh, this will just take the pressure off the team. Everyone will just talk about this and me, and not about the team and the signings and this, that, and the third and the rubbish post-season tour." So let's see what happens, guys. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm out of here. Peace.